what's good guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to do something a little bit differently. I want to take you guys behind the scenes, show you around my home studio. This is where I make all of my beats, make all my YouTube content that you've seen on this channel. This is where I network with artists and basically where I spend most of my days making music. I also want to give you guys my thoughts on the equipment that I use, and if you're looking for any recommendations, you know, if you're just a starting producer or looking, you know, to expand your setup, I want to give you guys my thoughts and opinions, the stuff that I would recommend you buy and maybe the stuff that you might not need. But yeah, let me show you around. Alright, without further ado, here is just an overview of the studio setup. This is in a spare bedroom in my house, and I'm going to show you guys basically all about it here. Okay, so let's start with the desk, because this is obviously like the main kind of control center. The desk that I have is just one of those IKEA setup desks. I think it's the IKEA Karlby, just like a tabletop over these Alex drawers. Basically, all the stuff that's in these drawers here are usually just cables and random stuff. I need to get a little bit better at organizing. What I love about it though is just how it's open, a lot of space. I think, you know, a lot of people don't realize as a music producer, a lot of your desk space is going to be taken up by things like speakers and various equipment, so I need to make sure there's a lot of space. But this is just a basically a countertop. A lot of people kind of who make do gaming videos on YouTube have this setup, and then these I found kind of matching these kind of like monitor risers off of Amazon, which kind of match it really well. It kind of looks like it belongs, so I kind of like it because I can tuck some things underneath it. I can tuck this. This is the AKAI MPK Mini. I think it's a couple of editions old at this point. I love this keyboard. I use this pretty much in every single beat. This is my go-to piece of equipment. I also love it because it's, you know, small. I can get out ideas quickly, some quick melodies, some quick chords, and you know what? I can tuck it back in there, so it's out of sight, out of mind when I don't need it. On the other side here, I love this. This is just kind of a little storage compartment full of cables, random stuff that I need. Obviously, I don't want too much clutter on my desk, so that kind of hides it a bit. Back there, tucked away, if you can see that, that is a Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 audio interface. If you've been making beats online, or you know, if you've looked up any producer, that's probably the most popular piece of equipment. I love this interface. It's basic, it's simple, it gets the job done. I've had it for years now, and honestly, I don't think I would ever feel the need to upgrade at all. Like, unless that breaks, I love it. It gets the job done. Plug guitars in, plug my speakers, plug my headphones. That is something that I would definitely recommend any producer buying who's starting to get a little more serious with their setup. I used to have speakers, which I'll get into. I used to have speakers that just basically ran into the headphone port of my laptop, and then a couple years after, when I was able to kind of save up a bit more money and invest, I was able to buy one of these in proper setup. But yeah, just the Scarlett 2i2, like the Focusrite, most popular for a reason. So that powers these guys. These are the Yamaha HS7 speakers. Now, I absolutely love these. I used to have Rocket KRK speakers, which I like them. They were a good introductory speaker, but these ones I love so much more. And again, with, you know, my other stuff, and now that I have these, I never really feel the need to swap them out. The sound, I really love the sound. They're clean. I wouldn't really recommend anything lower than a, I guess, 7-inch speaker. Like I said, these are HS7s. They're absolutely perfect. I absolutely love these. So again, I have those. I have just some kind of basic stands to rise them up, get them at ear level a bit, take them off the desk there a little bit. Makes it kind of clean. So that's the setup there. The screen itself, this is a 4K monitor. I think it's 27 inches. I absolutely love it. It's powered all off my laptop, which I'll get into in a few minutes, but yeah, just basic monitor, nothing fancy. Above top here, I have a webcam just for when I'm having like Zoom calls or Google Meets or whatever you call those. And then this here, this is just something I picked up recently. Just one of these lighting bars. It doesn't really look like it's doing much, but obviously with it getting dark at, like, you know, 4 p.m. now, and days I'm working late, I'm always trying to have a bit of a cozy setup, so it kind of just makes things a little bit easier on the eyes. This over here, this is just a key light I got off Amazon, nothing fancy, but lighting is such an important thing to figure out if you're making content. I have this ginormous window here, but since I'm working here, it's just like it's it's really hard to get good lighting in my studio, so I need to like figure out some sort of lighting contraption, and this kind of seems to do the job. I've used this in a lot of my YouTube videos that you've probably seen on this channel. Let's see what else we have on the desk here. This is my laptop. This is a gaming laptop, an MSI GE Radier 66. i7 processor. What else does it have? I think it has 12 or 16 gigabytes of RAM, terabyte of storage space, which I'll get into, but basically something powerful. I've had so many different laptops and computers over the years. This is my current one. Hopefully it lasts me a while. And I just have it on a basic kind of monitor stand here, so I can use it almost as a secondary monitor. I didn't want to talk too much about the storage feature, because even though this has a terabyte of storage, you know, over the years, the plugins that I've got, the VSTs, the sound libraries, the trackouts, I have way more stuff than a terabyte could handle. So way back here, and I don't know if you can fully see that into the abyss right there. You might not even be able to see it in this camera. Hang on. Yeah, down there, I had to turn that up all the way. That is like, I don't know, 10 years worth of storage and all these, you know, external hard drives and everything like that. That is one thing that I think is so important as a music producer, is to make sure that you have some sort of like good, you know, backup system for all your files. Behind the desk, I have these acoustic foam panels. Now, I think they kind of serve two purposes. One, they obviously look, I think, pretty neat, pretty aesthetically pleasing to look at. In my like room here, so my room, I don't have a lot of like basically furniture over here, so there is kind of not a lot of echo now, but I remember when I first moved in, this was an empty room, right? I didn't have anything in it, so there was a lot of kind of echo in the room. These definitely help, but they are kind of thicker than usual ones. I see a lot of producers and a lot of companies sell just basic thin ones. These are like the thickest I could find, and they do actually help. On top of the desk here, I have just kind of some things that, this is kind of a personal touch, right? This over here, YouTube plaque for my Beats channel, BeatStars Million Streams Award right there. This was my machine that I don't really use too often, but when I use this it still works. I just don't use it too often, but I absolutely love this thing. I mean, some of my biggest inspirations when making beats are, you know, Jay Dilla, Pete Rock, Kanye, people who use like an MPC. So having that on display there just kind of reminds me, you know, why I got into music. Just kind of a personal touch there. It really means a lot to me having one of these in my studio. So I think that's it for the desk. I also have here, of course, Studio Companion, sitting in a little banana bed there. Moving on to the desk, these are basically some keyboards that I have and I've kind of collected over years. This is a Komplete controller, S49, just a MIDI controller. Now, if I'm honest, and I'll say this about this bottom one too, these you don't need as a producer in these days. If I were shopping right now for anything, I wouldn't buy stuff like this, because you know, I've had these for years, and now that I've had one of these guys, just the 25 key, this is pretty much all I use. This is so easy to use, get out quick melody ideas. These here, like at this point, they're more for looks. I mean, this one too, like Prophet 12 synthesizer, a bit of a beast of a machine, but I find that it's just like, it's not efficient for me to use. It kind of slows down my workflow, having to plug it in, look for presets, record everything live. With a MIDI controller like this, I can, you know, play a quick idea, quantize it, change the notes in FL Studio, and it's good. It's just quick, it's easy. You don't need any of this fancy gear as a producer, honestly. Just get something basic and do the rest digitally. You'll be set, trust me. Going over to this side in the studio, this is just some like personal stuff that I've kind of accumulated over the years. Again, you gotta have some like personal stuff. This is just a book that I was a part of a while back. Some other stuff, I have some camera gear, some books in the bottom here that, you know, books that are really important to me. So moving on here, these are guitars that I have, so I'll kind of break these down. But this is an Epiphone Les Paul guitar. I've had this for years. This one I use a lot, and this other one here is the Squire Stratocaster. I use that one a lot. This middle one here is my first guitar ever, and it's more there for like nostalgic purposes, but again, you know, Stratocaster or kind of a Les Paul, depending on what sound I'm going for, you know, either warm sound or you know, more clean sound. But again, it's all it's all basically within arm's reach, right? So I've had this studio space for about 4.5 years now. It's, you know, took me a while to get it like this. There's a lot of things that I've figured out, you know, since I've had this studio space, and even a lot of things that I've figured out basically since I started producing beats and basically making beats and doing this full time. There's a lot of, you know, things that I've bought that I loved, and a lot of things that I've bought that I don't think that you really need as a producer. I think that first, it's so important to basically have just some type of space. Now, I'm not saying you need like a specific room, but what I've learned, you know, throughout the years of doing this full time is that it's important for me to have a space where I can focus, kind of away from the world, right? Even if, you know, I was making beats in my bedroom where I spend all my time, the one thing that I would make sure that I would be doing is just to make sure I have some sort of disconnect. You know, you need to get away, you need to recharge, you can't spend all day in the place that you're working. You need to get out there, get some new inspiration, some new ideas, keep things fresh, keep things moving. That's like the biggest thing that I would say, regardless of where you're working, is that you gotta have some type of like separation. What I would recommend, like for any producer, so like the biggest thing that I would have is, you know, if you're looking for any type of equipment, I would say my AKAI MPK Mini. That's the #1 piece of equipment that I definitely use more often than anything else, and I would recommend anyone to buy, just because like it's so quick. It's so easy. You don't have to change a million knobs and get, you know, the perfect sound like on that analog synth I have. It's just MIDI controller, plug and play. Again, keeps things easy. Now, I absolutely love the speakers that I have, and I would recommend those ones to anyone because I absolutely love them. I've used other ones in the past, and these are my absolute favorite. If you're looking for headphones, I use these Audio-Technica ATH M50X. I love these ones. These are actually, I think, my second or third pair. I've worn them out and I just keep buying them. So yeah, that's, you know, equipment, a little bit of stuff there. But then honestly, like, I'm at the point where, like, you know, I have, like, you know, I'm fortunate to have, you know, these synthesizers and keyboards and guitars. I'm at the point now where I've realized that I don't need anything really flashy as a producer. You know, if I'm investing in stuff, investing in my brand as a musician, as a content creator, I'm at the point now where I want to invest in stuff that basically speeds up my workflow and makes things easier, right? So instead of buying like a analog synthesizer, I would buy some new, you know, VSTs or, you know, some new software that can get out my ideas quicker, right? Just basically increase efficiency. Or I would be spending, you know, money on things that basically make me a better content creator, because, you know, we all know as a musician in almost 2024 now, it's not just enough to post your songs online and get, you know, streams and plays. You have to make some type of content aspect, which is why I have things like that big light over there and my key light and a couple of different setups. It's because I'm kind of using content as a way to showcase my music, right? But yeah, hopefully this information in this video helps you guys, you know, learn anything about, you know, what do you actually need as a producer. If you want to visit our website, the link will be in the description where you can start using LALAL.AI. Hit that subscribe button too. I have some, we have some cool live streams coming up on the channel soon and some more cool videos. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one.